All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new pick a card video. Now, for those of you who are new, first of all, hello, thank you for coming. And second, my name is Sienna and I love tarot. Okay, got that out of the way. Here's the decks we're using today. Crystal Angel Oracle cards, and of course our trusty dusty Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. All right, let's pop that open. And as you can tell from the video's title and stuff like that, we're going to be taking a look at a message from your subconscious. I'm pretty excited to get started, so yeah, we'll just get started. All right, there we go. And if you've seen my prior pick a card videos, you'll already know what to do. But if you're new to this kind of thing, the instructions are pretty simple. So I have piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to choose which one kind of just stands out to you, which one your intuition picks up on. And that's all you got to do. And then you need to fast forward to the appropriate timestamp, which you'll find the timestamps in the video description or as a pinned comment in the comment section. All right? Okay. So we'll give you a couple of seconds to choose, and then we'll be ready to begin. Okay, we're going to move on to pile number 1. We'll just gently pop those ones out of the way. Here we go. You guys do a lot of learning while you're asleep. Yeah, you do all kinds of learning in the subconscious realm, in the dream state. Okay. The reason I come to this message, this conclusion, is because here we have 4 of Swords. That is a card of resting, retreating. 3 of Pentacles. This is getting together with, this would be other beings. This would be your spirit guides. This would be, it can be loved ones who've since passed away that are all, over in the spiritual realm. Guardian angels. Sometimes you could be accessing the Akashic records, kind of the great big book of everything, which records all known knowledge in the universe, all known wisdom in the universe. Anyways, you're learning stuff that is going to help progress your soul's learning and development, but most of all, with every time that you get together with your spiritual guides or, with those loved ones in spirit during the sleep state, the subconscious state, you are getting closer and closer to reaching a state of contentment and comfort within your soul. So you may have had a lot of unrest during parts of your life. You might have lived through a lot of turbulence. You could have had some traumas, affect you in the past. And sometimes our subconscious really holds on to these things and tries to make sense of it the best that it can. Something that you're doing in the spirit realm while you're sleeping at night is working through these traumas, working through these situations that maybe you did not understand at the time why this was happening or why somebody was doing a certain thing. And the more you learn about it, the more that you untangle these these kinds of knots, I guess I would say, the more you figure out and straighten things out in your subconscious, just the happier and the more content your soul becomes. You do a lot of work in the spiritual realm while you sleep. Because okay, we've been talking about all the learning and all of the, I guess, straightening out that your subconscious is doing. But I think there's more to it than that. You've been taking what you've learned, and you've been taking the contentment that you have, and you've been helping others who are also in the dream state, or, in the same kind of spiritual space that you're in. And you're teaching them what you've learned. So, your angels and guides have been helping you work through some stuff. All right. So then let's say that it's something that you've been able to straighten out and heal from, and you're pretty much okay when it comes to that. Maybe the next time that you enter that state of consciousness, the sleeping or dreaming or whatever it is, another soul comes to you because they need to figure out that lesson too. And you have the answers, you have the wisdom. It's your turn to then pass it on. And that seems like something that you do a lot of learning, a lot of teaching. Both of these things just give your soul so much more joy. Now, are you going to be consciously aware of what of these activities, things like that upon waking? Not necessarily. And that's okay. The subconscious remembers, the subconscious holds on to everything. Your soul remembers. It's okay if your conscious mind does not remember upon waking because, well, you kind of have your own stuff to deal with when it comes to everyday life. So it's best not to add on a whole pile of other information on top of that, right? What matters is that you are doing very important work for yourself and for others. We're going to take a look at your angel oracle card. Tanzanite, ready to love again. You've healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. I love that. That's so sweet. And look at that beautiful art. I really, I really do love these cards. They are so pretty. So, it could be past relationship hurts that you've been working through in the spiritual realm. It could be just, other life kind of circumstances. There are many different kinds of love as well. So, the kind of love that it says you're open to once again, yeah, it can be like a romantic love. Maybe you've healed a lot of pain from a person who really hurt you, or it could be like a friendship sort of love. Maybe you were betrayed by friends, or maybe you did something and you and a friend decided it just wasn't going to work out between you anymore. And, you had a lot to work through after that, and a lot of feelings. Maybe there was a lot of guilt. Maybe there was a lot of embarrassment or just sadness to work through. And now, since you've worked through it, you're ready to open up and, either do what you need to do if you haven't already, which is apologize and forgive that person who hurt you, or, expressing your heartfelt apology to somebody that you may have hurt, and just being able to move from there. Maybe being open to having that friendship connection again, or maybe just being open to forming a new friendship connection with a new person. And then a really, really big, important type of love that a lot of people seem to kind of overlook or just sort of forget about is a love for the self. Not a vain and narcissistic love for the self, because even that is not true love. But you may have gone through a lot of past hurts, Maybe the inner child in you has been hurt really bad, and maybe that's the kind of thing that you're straightening out while you're in the dream state. The more healing that you've been able to do, the easier it becomes to have love for yourself again, to forgive yourself, to apologize to yourself, for any of your mistakes or any, things like that, your mistakes, your things that maybe you've done wrong. It just opens the door to, maybe you looking at yourself and saying, okay, you know what? I am worthwhile, or, you are worthwhile. I love me. I'm content to be me. I am grateful to be me. Things like that. Either way, the work that you've been doing in the spiritual realm while you're sleeping at night has been leading to your soul's contentment, like I was saying, and it's because of this being open to love. Once again, love in the various different forms. There are many different forms, like we just went over. I went over a few examples, so you could be dealing with one of those things. You could be dealing with all of those things. You could be dealing with something similar but a little bit different than what I had mentioned. But I think that's okay. So pile 1, that was your reading. Thank you so much for joining me, for tuning in and watching. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. All right, we've moved on to group number 2. Group 2, thank you for joining me and for choosing this pile. Let's see what your message is. Ooh. All right, so the message for group 2. Here, first of all, 2 cups. We have be kind to yourself, be respectful to yourself. Have love for yourself. Be friends with yourself. Because you are never going away. Sure, eventually the body, we kind of discard it. We don't really need it after a while. But your soul, your spirit, the thing that makes you you is never going away. It's always going to be there. So you might as well love it. You might as well love it. You might as well have respect for yourself. You might as well be friends with yourself. But you can take as much time as you need to do this. You can work through this. Well, some people are able to work through this really quickly and, get that under control, figure it out, and then move on to the next lesson. But you don't have to rush through this. Loving yourself is a process in which you can take your time. Knight of Pentacles is all about gradual movement. He's not in a rush. He's not in a hurry. That horse ain't going nowhere. Again, it just fits in with that message that you are never going to cease to be. You are always going to be. Let's see, what other messages are coming through? Ooh, you know what? I'm also getting, I'm also getting trust your intuition. Your intuition is something else that's never going to go away. Sometimes our ability to perceive a message from our intuition, yes, sometimes that's a little bit more complicated, Sometimes that can be compromised. Sometimes it can be really easy, but your intuition and your connection to spirit and your innate ability to open up your psychic senses and connections in that way, that's never going away. It's going to always be available to you. Again, you can take your time with that. Your subconscious wants you to know that both messages are very important themes in your life, at least for right now. Interestingly, I am being told by Spirit right now that the more love, respect, friendship we have for ourselves, the more that we actually, I guess, quote, believe ourselves and trust ourselves, the more we believe and trust ourselves, well, the stronger our intuition gets, or I guess our ability to pick up intuitive messages gets a lot stronger. Again, there's no rush. Another message coming in for you, pile 2, is like, okay, let's say this is you, this is your subconscious, so like conscious, subconscious, all right. Your subconscious mind is trying to say like, I'm doing my best. And that's really the phrase I kept hearing over and over, doing my best, doing my best. Your subconscious mind is willing to do all of the all the hard work, all the dirty work. When it comes to processing, your emotions, processing all of the tons and tons of information that you've received throughout the day from, various sources, things you've seen, things you've heard, things you've smelled or experienced, things like that. Your subconscious is doing the best it can to work through all of that. And while it says like it is willing to do all the dirty work, I shouldn't call it dirty work, should I? All the hard work. You can actually kind of help this along with your conscious mind, not by worrying over and over and over about things, but by sitting down, getting into a nice relaxed state. And, maybe there's a situation that's really bothering you. If you sit down or whatever, get into a comfortable position, get into a relaxed state, it becomes easier to sort of observe and look out. Look outside of your own self. So for example, let's say that you had, an argument with a friend or something. You might be all emotional, your conscious mind, all emotional, all caught up in the middle of it. But when you relax and you kind of just observe, you can just pretend like you're taking a step away from the situation and looking at it as if it's like an object on the table in front of you, like say like these cards here. And you can go, okay, I felt hurt when they said this. Okay, and then you can go, well, why did I feel hurt? You might realize that your ego self wanted something and didn't get it, or, you maybe heard some information that was important for you to know, but your ego didn't want to hear it. When you kind of work through these things and you then think about, okay, well, what can I do to make the situation better? Or what are some of the positive things around me? What are some positives that can come from this? Things like that. You've actually lightened quite a bit of the burden for your subconscious. I hope that all made sense to you guys. The subconscious is also saying to you that you are very powerful. You are a powerful being. The subconscious is also saying that it is very powerful. And now the last card, we talked about how sometimes you can use your conscious mind to sort of go over things logically, and sometimes it takes a bit of the load off of the subconscious. There are some things that might go round and round and round the conscious mind, and it really becomes a burden on you. See, the subconscious and the conscious mind, they work together. While I said the subconscious, for you guys in pile 2, was willing to do everything, you already know by now that no, the conscious and the subconscious work together. If this was talking about, like I mentioned a second ago, using logic and reasoning and stuff to help take some of the load off your subconscious, this is kind of the vice versa. Your subconscious is able to handle a lot. Definitely a lot more than your regular conscious mind is willing to take on. So there are some things or some thoughts or some feelings, that it's okay to just put them aside and kind of work through them later. Because when you are ready to work through them later, your subconscious is helping you to straighten these things out in the meantime. So the next time that maybe you sit down and try to work through a certain problem or situation that you were in, it might be a little bit easier because your subconscious has already done a little bit of that processing for you. Okay, we're going to take a look at your oracle card. Rhodochrosite. Be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and you need time to heal and recover. I think that just verifies everything we talked about right here. This is also why there's no rush. There's no deadline to having your shit under control. There's no deadline to have your ducks in a row, to have your shit together. The point is to be gentle with yourself. Going back to that first message that came in, be kind to yourself, love yourself, respect yourself, befriend yourself. And pile number 2, that is what your subconscious is wanting you to know right now. So, thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in the next upload. Okay, we're going to move on to pile number 3. Thank you for joining and for watching. We're going to set our oracle card over here. We're going to look at your tarot cards. Wow. Okay. 3 major arcana in a row. I don't think the other 2 piles had all major arcana like that. That's actually really cool. Anyways, okay, we got the Hermit. Your subconscious has your back, okay? The subconscious is very wise. The Hermit is known for being incredibly wise. The subconscious is able to process information that you might not have room for in your conscious mind, or, because you got to make room for receiving all kinds of other information that you get throughout the day. A lot of that gets kind of pushed into the subconscious. So the message from your subconscious is like, hey, I'm working hard here. I'm a lot wiser than you're giving me credit for. So there's some things I'm getting that you've been worrying about a lot, but it's like, don't worry. Easier said than done, but it's not completely necessary to keep your conscious mind, your regular mind, your thoughts, that inner monologue. There's really no need to keep it so overwhelmed. Subconscious is able to handle some of this. It's looking out for you. That just means it knows what it's supposed to do to best contribute to your soul's learning and development and growth. Okay. Next message here is like, you are highly connected to spirit. If you chose this pile, okay, you are psychic. There's a good chance you already know that. And there's a good chance that you already use the divine gifts that you've got, and you've been developing them quite a bit. And with this really strong connection to spirit, just like how we noticed in this last card that the subconscious is looking out for you by trying to process stuff that your regular mind doesn't need to be worrying about all the time, spirit has this same kind of outlook. God, universe, source, whatever name you call that, whatever deity, that you love and honor, they love you too. And they're looking out for your best interests too. They also don't want you to occupy your conscious mind with all kinds of worries that it may not even have enough space for. The star, you have made terrific progress, and you still have many milestones to go. There's so much for you to be looking forward to when it comes to your soul's development and growth. Your subconscious is saying that you are on the right track. I'm also just hearing golden child, and I don't know why I'm hearing poster boy or poster child. Poster child for what, Spirit? Ideal development and growth. Ideal. Everybody develops at their own pace. Oh, ideal for yourself. Okay. Okay. There, you guys got to hear a little bit of a conversation with Spirit there. All right, hang on. You are so loved and looked after by the spiritual realm. You're loved and looked after by your own subconscious, by your own soul. Now, I'm going to take a look at your oracle card. Citrine. Unnecessary worries. Release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. I love that. Look at that beautiful art. But I love that message too. See, God, universe, source has your back. Spirit has your back. Your own soul has your back. You're doing a fantastic job. And you still have a lot of work to do and a lot more to learn and accomplish, but that's a good thing. That is a very good thing with the star card. Look forward to it. Look forward to every opportunity for learning and development. Okay. Wow, group 3. That message was short but sweet, and I think it got right to the point. It's a very strong message. I'm actually hearing the word concentrated, and I'm seeing a funnel. Okay, it's a funnel. There's a whole bunch of white light streaming in from the top, and it gets more concentrated as it comes out the end. Okay, wow. So pile 3, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for choosing the pile that you chose, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next upload. All right, last but not least, pile number 4, we have, some would say, saved the best for last. We're gonna move your oracle card just over here for now, and we're gonna take a look at your tarot cards. This is quite a powerful message for you guys who chose group 4. Queen of Swords. Wow, this queen, she's strong. She puts her boundaries down and she sticks by them. She cuts away everything that no longer serves her and is no longer good for her. You know, sometimes it might seem kind of tough, but it's something that she needs to do, right? So the message here is really just that. Well, okay, part of the message. Your subconscious is telling you to put your boundaries up and stick by them. To, like I said, cut away things that don't serve you. You know what these things are. There's something unhealthy or something that could be problematic, something that, you know, maybe it's not even like that bad, but it's draining on you just enough that it is probably worth getting rid of. It wouldn't hurt to get rid of. Again, you know what it is. Now, if you're not used to having boundaries and you're not used to enforcing them, that can be a little bit nerve-wracking, okay? It can make you really nervous. I understand, because I've been there. Sometimes I still end up there. But don't feel guilty. And the more that you do this, the easier it will become. You know, if you need to cut away a situation, maybe you need to leave a job, or maybe it's a friendship, you know, something like that behind. Leave it behind. Do it, you know, in love and light and with as much respect and kindness as possible. and with as much compassion as possible for the situation. But after that, don't let it back in. Don't feel guilty. Okay, judgment. You are getting things from the past coming back up. I'm really picking up here that it's memories. You might be getting bad memories from the past that are coming up. Well, you know, they could be bad, they could be uncomfortable, whatever it is, they don't serve anymore. It's like you've learned from them. But the reason they're coming back is not just to hurt you all over again. You have the opportunity to sort of straighten things out once and for all because you're strong enough to do so. Strong enough to process it now when you may not have been back when they first happened. Okay, and just like we said with this Queen of Swords, that is something else that it's okay to release it. You know, some people, when it comes to old traumas and things like that, you might need the help of a mental health professional or somebody else who is really well versed in dealing with this kind of stuff. You don't have to do that on your own, okay? You don't have to do any of this alone. You can get help from a lot of different loving sources. So, you know, you can go directly to Spirit and you can call on whichever, you know, deity, archangel, ascended master. You know, you can, for example, you can call on the Archangel Michael to come in and literally cut away energetic ties that no longer need to be there. Anyways, once you work through these kinds of things, become not quite so overwhelming, not quite so burdensome. And when you work through these things and you process them, it leaves room for more new information to be learned. So as you process things and you release old, energetic ties or old memories, things like that, it creates room to learn other things. It's almost like you create space to allow more love and light to enter when you clean away some of the darkness or some of the, I guess we'd say, energetic gunk that's accumulated. It's easier to enjoy your home and add maybe some new decorations here and there when it's clean, as opposed to when there's trash all over the floor. Now, I'm not going to say you're a home with trash all over the floor, okay? But I think you understand my point there. We're going to take a look at your oracle card, Sujilite. Own your divine power. Replace codependent people-pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. Don't feel guilty. That is the strong message that keeps repeating over and over and over again, is don't feel guilty. And if you do, at first, that's okay. But you don't have to keep feeling like that, because you have no reason to be guilty for taking care of yourself and removing influences or things that no longer help you. It's part of life. And it creates room for bigger and better things. Okay, so group 4, thank you so much for watching, for choosing this pile, and I'm going to see you guys in the next upload.